Hey everyone, I'm Everyday Buddyfighter, and this is a deck profile on the G-Boost Will deck of the Deity Dragon Tribe. So obviously you're going to use Dragon World, and the buddy will be Gargantual/Wyvern. I'm picking this as a buddy since the buddy gift will help me proc the Deogarder's ability, which is the search. First, we start with 4 copies of Gargantual/Wyvern. Obviously is the only card with G-Boost Will that exists, so you have to play it in order for the deck to work. Deogarder at 4 because you need to search the card, and also has a very useful ability since when you gain life, if a card with G-Boost is on your field, drop up to 2 of your opponent's gauge. It's very useful when you go first. 3 copies of Garcat because Garcat's still a good card. I play 2 copies of Smiley Street Interchange Yuga since G-Boost will procs for each attack, and you want to call as many monsters as you can, and also Yuga's ability will be very useful for calling Gogger for free, and its ability in the soul will also be helpful for life gain and burnout. 1 copy of Awakened Deity Dragon Teeth Guardra, since it also helps with FDK variants, but because it charges 3 gauge, it kind of becomes a bit of a mess, so I'm going to play 1 copy. I also play 1 copy of Awakened Deity Dragon Guardra, which is the anti-rest and anti-return to hand. It's very useful when people want to suddenly call Zodiac X or do any kind of rest cards, you just counter response with the Guardra call, so always useful. 3 copies of the item, Deity Dragon Lightning Blade Guard Wyvern Sword. It's the anti-null, anti-death for G-Boost Will, and also counteract during each player's attack phase. If a G-Boost Will is on your field, you can call a Deity Dragon Tribe from your drop zone when paying its call cost, and it will use on turn. It's useful because it's during your or your opponent's turn, so if your opponent's like going to just remove all your cards, you'd be like, okay, you just, you know, call a Garcat or whatever in response. Going up to the spells, 2 copies of the set spell Drag Out Glyph, since it also prevents return to hand, and also each time you gain life by effects, you can charge to draw a card. 4 copies of Gar Oracle, just draw 2 cards for Deity Dragon Tribe on the field. Drag Out on the field, you gain 2 life, and gaining life is useful in G-Boost Will, of course. 2 copies of Drag Out Shine, 3 copies of G-Boost Over, since you need a card with G-Boost on your field, you search top 3, get 2, put 1 to your gauge. 2 copies of Sky Dragon Divinity as another draw card. It's really only used for early game since the deck kind of does draw into itself a lot, so just kind of be careful about that. For counter spells, we have 3 copies of Gar Grants for another call, and also get to search the top 4 cards, keep 2, and put the rest 2 into gauge. 2 copies of Gar Dasher. I would play more copies if it worked on cards instead of monsters, but still nullifying a monster's ability at counter speed is still useful. And 3 copies of Gar Command. As for defense spells, we got 3 copies of Blade Breaking Shockwave, which is just to res the stun card. 2 copies of Sweet Happy Time, so that you can't get rested by your opponent's card effects. 2 copies of Loyalty, because loyalty needs to exist. As for the impact, 2 copies of Deity Gargantual Crusher. You can FDK with G-Boost Will if you combo the cards correctly. 2 copies of Lost World, because of course. For the Lost deck, we have 3 copies of Vanity Cuss Destroyer, 2 copies of Kerfob Man, 3 copies of Aquinas Dogma for multiple calls, 3 copies of Vanity Epoch Destroyer, 1 copy of Lossless Hazer in case I lose the item, 4 copies of Dimension Draw, 3 copies of Invasion Deep Vial, 2 copies of Dimension Denial, just in case Sweet Happy Time isn't in my hand, 2 copies of Dimension Cruelty for the same thing, 2 copies of Dimension Ruin, so I can either fish out more Aquinas Dogma or I can search out targets for Yuga's ability, and 2 copies of Dimension Wave. Lost World doesn't really have counter speed life gain a lot, so this is pretty much the best option. Of course, it helps clear your center, or you can just remove a Lost Vader from your field during your opponent's turn and call Epoch in response. And finally, ending off the Lost deck with Vanity Zero Blazer, because 10 damage is always useful, but I don't play too many Lost Vaders on my field at once, so just only play 1. Going into the sideboard, for more defensive options, 2 copies of Combat Deity War for attack nullifiers, 2 copies of Buddy Block so I won't take too much damage from my opponent's attacks, 1 copy of Revenge, just in case I need to call Gargan from my drop zone because my opponent has heavy removal, more likely be useful against Godclock, so yeah. 2 copies of Combat Deity Rises for phase-ending decks, which is Rosedelia or Dimension Dragons. 2 copies of Combat Deity Flaming Wave Slash, so I can remove problematic soul cards, and another copy of Teeth Guardra in case I want more FDK potential. So that's the deck, pretty much. I've been Everyday Buddyfighter, and I hope you have fun with the deck. Bye.